I was gonna do whatever you told me.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess we were just gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
I got y'all beat. I do what my wife tells me.
God,
Ultimately, yeah.
smart man.
I get to hit the gap. Yeah. I always wanted to do that. Good evening, everybody. Our Mayor Dennis Anthony is under the weather tonight. So I'm Scott Coe, Mayor Pro Tem, so we'll conduct the meeting and have a good evening. David, would you care to lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a moment of silence. Amen. Thank you. All right, we're here, like I said, our mayor. If anybody need the minutes from the previous meeting read? If not, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. 3 proclamations, recognitions, and appointments pending ceremony for Sergeant Matt Alton. Chief,
Yes.
we'll turn it over to you, sir.
Just gotta make sure everybody can hear me.
As everybody knows, we've had some retirements. We've got some openings that come up in the last 8 months for a supervisor's position.
Chief, would you mind standing to the center? Yeah,
Sure.
so people on camera can see.
Sergeant Butler retired, and we had a vacancy for a supervisor and a promotion. And after some careful consideration and a longer process, we're going to promote Matt Alton. And come on up. Matt does extra for the department. He has for a long time. He's a training coordinator, he's a firearms instructor. Around here. And he's been serving with the town for 23 years, almost 23 years, October of 03, I believe. So
Yep.
in 2 months, to be 23 years. So, you know, I grew up here, know a lot of people in the town. But Matt has just been working here that long and knows just as many. That's a real asset for us. So I just, traditional to, you know, pin your new supervisors, and that's what I'm gonna do tonight. I have 2 sergeant chevrons. You could just stand at ease. This one.
Thank you, sir. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve the department as sergeant, and I look forward to helping out our new officers and you know, sharing some of my training and experience of 23 years with them.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. Congratulations, Matt. Appreciate you, everything you do for us. Public comment. I think we do have Mr. Robinson.
Not for this, he'll,
Okay.
he'll be for
Alright.
Bird Street, yes,
So nothing for this.
not for regular.
Sir, you got an update on Drexel property?
Yep, so I'd be happy to provide an update on Drexel Industrial. So really not too much, not too much going on as far as public report goes. I did want to mention that we did reserve an ad in a magazine called Invest Charlotte. They're an investment magazine that does advertising for several large cities, Charlotte being one of them. And given that we're part of the Charlotte Business Alliance, we have opted to do an advertisement for the site in that. So we did that at an operational level. And we continue to heavily market the site and work with Brandon Roop and his team at BDI to submit RFIs. And that's really all I have for that. We'll talk more about that closed session as well. Some things going on. But that's all for open session.
All right. New business, public hearing on Burn Street Townhomes Development Agreement.
And I'll start that. If you recall, this was just a continuation of last month's where we weren't quite ready with the final product yet, but we have since developed that, worked back and forth with the attorneys and the developers and have that. We were provided that copy. Now we'll allow the public to comment as needed.
So, Mr. Robinson, if you would like to step to the podium, sir.
Congratulations. Basically what I was gonna talk about, my wife and I have done some research on our own in regards to the townhomes that's gonna be built. Just so happened, well, for one, let me thank Daniel, because he came to our house and sat down with us and walked around, and we talked about the area, because our home sits right in the middle of that field. And it's been a big change as far as the view is concerned. I mean, we didn't see the ocean or nothing like that. I mean, it just, we had trees, and we had the wall built up with bricks, with wood, and rabbits run around back and forth all day long, birds flying all day long. You hear them all day long. And deer was coming in our yard. I mean, we had every skunk, raccoons. They all was participating with the environment that we had set up in our yard. Like I said earlier, we called that our Garden of Eden, because it was just so relaxing for us to sit under our carport or sit out in the yard and just view what was happening around me. My wife spent serious time decorating, placing certain plants for us to enjoy. And it just was we considered it as a blessing. It was our peace. And since they tore all that down, it's wide open now. Just that it changed the vibe, basically. But we were not knowledgeable about the steps that needed to be taken in order for this process to go forward. And we discussed things with each other, realizing that we was not knowledgeable of what was going to take place as far as legal issues and that kind of thing. But we did our little research. Thanks to Daniel for sharing with us the knowledge about the zoning that was required and different aspects of the development being taken place. These pictures right here is not in reference to the complex. That's for over here.
Yes.
Okay, so that was one of the things that I was wanting. I like to have a drawing of what's going to take place once everything is finalized, legalized, or the process. The one thing I would appreciate is to be able to see, if it's been developed yet, what this house facility is going to look like. It's just something that I think will make me feel acceptable, because once it happened, we was under the, we start talking about this might not work. Should we move? We start looking at other houses, you know, to move. But I'm 71, disabled, my wife disabled, and we said, baby, that ain't gonna work. It's gonna be too hard on us. So we came to the decision that the Lord blessed us with this home. And because of that reason, we, under no circumstances should we even think about leaving. If by any chance it come to that point, then we'll just have to decide what'll be the best move for us. We then concluded that we're not going anywhere. We love our home. We love the community. We love the crew, the workers, the officers. I mean, Drexel is just a special environment for us. We really love the area. But that's basically what I would like to see personally. Is if there's a diagram like this of what these townhomes are going to consist of, so that we can see, and just to ease our minds. Like I said, we've already decided we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here in Drexel, and that's going to be it. That's where we live. And that's pretty much all I would like to say. So, you know, if by any chance, when that's done, or when that becomes made available, I would definitely love to sit down with somebody, and so we can go through, because they had a little diagram of the town hall, but it wasn't legible. I mean, you couldn't read the numbers or the, you know, it was like it was hard to tell what was what. So that's what will make us feel a little better. We can clearly see what's going on, and then we can, if we have to make any kind of adjustments for our little Garden of Eden, be more than happy to do that. But we're not leaving Drexel.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. That's it.
And Daniel's sitting here. Does anybody have any questions for Daniel, or?
Mr. Roberts, your
Yes.
property is adjacent to?
Our backyard
Yeah,
is right in the middle of
Right in
that.
the middle of that land, yeah.
So you guys actually access, what is the other street?
Park
Street?
Mhm.
Okay.
Park and Burn.
We definitely don't want you moving anywhere.
We not.
We
not
like
going.
keeping you.
We're not going anywhere, because like I said, our home was a blessing from God. We moved out of the housing authority. With 5 children, we was blessed. And, you know, God give us a blessing. We don't want to discard it, you know, just because of a situation. You know, we don't move like that. We really love our home, and it's been a blessing for us to even be where we're at. So
How long did we live there, Dee?
we've been there 29 years.
Any questions for Daniel? Daniel, by the way, thank you for going over, spending
Sure.
time with these folks.
Sure.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was a great conversation. Very hospitable. I appreciate that. We had some good discussions about making sure, you know, a zoning ordinance serves 2 purposes. One, to allow development, but also to protect those who are around that development. So
Mhm.
had a good conversation about making sure that the letter of the ordinance is met. And the agreement in front of you is part of that, to protect the town, with the required public improvements, public utility improvements. So yeah, had good conversation, good discussion. I feel like we're in a good spot with this project.
So there's no real reason they can't see the plat.
No.
Yeah, so-
I think Daniel can follow up with them and get them, hopefully a more
Yes.
legible.
Yes, what we have right now is an aerial view, so essentially a site plan.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to get to is more of a, you know, a 3D,
Oh,
more
so the elevations
photorealistic.
and things like that.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other,
Yep, we can officially close that hearing.
need a motion to close the hearing?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
What do we need to vote on?
We can go into the next public hearing.
Aye. I yes, we need to open a public hearing. Let's need a motion to open a public hearing to receive citizens' input on development of a community development block grant.
I'll make a motion to open a public hearing.
Second,
I second.
all those in favor say aye.
And Mayor Pro Tem, we do have Kyle Case to call, and he can provide some information about this public hearing.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm Kyle Case with Western Piedmont Council of Governments Community and Economic Development Department. We've been working with the town for quite a while, several years, on several grants for the industrial site. And so here tonight, just to talk about some additional grant opportunities. You all may be familiar with this, although it may have been a couple of years since we've done one of these, but community development grants that are administered through the state of North Carolina, through mainly the Department of Commerce, occasionally the Department of Environmental Quality. This first public hearing is essentially just a statement that the town has some interest in applying for CDBG funds sometime within the next 12 months. This public hearing will be good for 12 months and will cover us for any and all applications that we submit during that time. So this is just really to receive citizen input on community projects, anything the community would like to hear about. We've had some initial discussions with the town about some potential new projects, but this hearing is not specifically to talk about any of those. It is really just the intent to say we may apply. Down the line, once we hone in and hear what the community is interested in, we'll start developing applications, at which point we'll hold a second public hearing related to those applications where we'll talk a little more in detail about the projects and allow citizen comment on those as well. I do want to read a little bit just for the record. Again, this public hearing is in order to receive citizen input in the development of CDBG applications for the coming year. These applications are to be submitted to the Department of Commerce. CDBG funds may be used for a variety of different activities. Those include neighborhood revitalization, economic development, infrastructure, community housing, demolition of publicly dilapidated buildings in order to create reusable industrial sites, and disaster recovery, including support to help communities deal with recovery from Hurricane Helene. All projects under CDBG applications must go to benefit low and moderate income persons. So whatever we develop will go to benefit low to moderate income persons in the community. I do want to add a special note. So the category there at the end, disaster recovery, of course, all of Western North Carolina is still recovering from the impacts of Hurricane Helene. And the state has money under several different categories under disaster recovery that the town would be eligible for. Those include infrastructure, commercial district revitalization, and housing projects. So those are some of the categories that we may come back and talk about at a later date. I'm happy to answer any questions, or I can kind of get out of the way, but yeah, that is the reason we're here tonight. All right. Well, thank you all so much, and we'll be talking to you soon.
If there are any, there are none.
There are none.
Close it.
I need a motion to close this public hearing.
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye. You also.
All
Yes, you do that. You're limited.
6C, approval of Burn Street Townhome Development Agreement.
Yes, that is just after having held the public hearing, the agreement, which is in your packet, would just be our portion of that, us executing that agreement, and then finalizing, getting the draft finalized, and then signing and sending off to the developer for their signature. If you're in approval of that, then we will have a motion on that. Of course, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
I was looking forward to David's comments.
Good.
Yes.
No questions? All right, then, all in favor of approving this, raise your right hand, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All opposed? All right, so that passes. 6D, selection of financial institution for equipment loan.
Yes, I will also take that one, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. So, you'll have in your packet a couple of, financial proposals. I also put together a comparison sheet on the screen up there, which I'll share with our viewers. So in essence, we had two, after putting out the RFP, we had two come in. One was for Truist, Bank. And again, this is for public works, equipment value, about $745,000. A 5-year, 59-month term. We also had a firm called Home Trust Bank, based out of United Financial. They're an Asheville-based organization, and I was actually referred to them from a colleague, so I've used them in the past for some equipment I purchased in prior roles. And I sent the rating. I developed a rating system and sent one copy to Chelsea Carswell, our finance officer, assistant finance officer. I filled one out, and then I sent one to VEDEC, the Valley State Economic Development Incorporated organization, because Ms. Carrie Petit and Talisha Goshens that are with them are both former bankers and financial people. So I thought they'd be a good people to take a look at it. And also they have no stake. They don't know the people personally like I do, especially when it comes to Truist. So looking at it, the best proposal deemed by staff and by mostly the interest rate being lower, 4.08% interest rate over that 59-month period. They offer every 6-month payment plan, which we found to be attractive, because that way we can split the payment in 2 times per year. And they did have, the only difference that they have that I guess is kind of a con is that if you prepay the loan in the first 2 years, there's a 1% penalty on the remaining balance, principal balance. So if you don't plan on paying it off the first 2 years, they don't worry about it, but they do that to protect themselves. Of course, Truist is a great financial organization. We have personal relationships with the bankers there. But in this case, their proposal fell short, at least based on our ratings. So my recommendation, the recommendation of those who reviewed the proposals, is to approve the resolution for Home Trust Bank and to enter into an agreement with them and allow staff to execute all those closing documents once we get going. I did receive a call from them today. I kind of gave them a heads up that they'd probably be our financing firm for this, for the equipment. And they did tell me that we were already approved. So it's really, at this point, would just be us signing and executing, and they can get us closed pretty quick.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
What's the Missouri ideal schedule? Actually put the money in the use.
So we already have ownership of the police SUV, and we also already have ownership of the leaf truck that came in last week.
Oh.
Yeah, they went ahead and got it to us. We'll probably get the claw truck in the next couple of weeks. They're working on painting it, and then that final piece of equipment, they have it in stock. Our guys just haven't had a chance to demo it yet. They want to demo it before we buy it to make sure we like it. But either way, even if there's a gap between, we'll get the funding and they'll place it into an account that will grow with interest if we don't spend it for some reason. But we should be able to pay down that loan probably the next month. We'll have to spend it all.
Okay.
Be able to stay. We want our first payment, I think, is in January, if I recall.
Yeah, I was more curious about when we get the equipment, but you're way ahead of me.
Yeah, Marvin's already here. That's good.
Well, I learned my lesson. I've bought pieces of equipment like this before, and if they're on the lot, you sign for it and try to get it locked up so that you can have it, because they go quick, especially at the fiscal year. So we kind of got them locked in when we knew we were going to enter into this agreement. So we should get it very quickly. One piece already in hand, and the other piece is hopefully the next month.
We'll just hear by fall and the leaves. The
The leaf truck is here, so we should be ready. So hopefully, even if one breaks down, we have a spare.
So we have a motion to go with Home Trust for this equipment purchase.
I'll make a motion that we accept his recommendation, Home Trust.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next up, discussion of downtown master planning.
Yeah, so this is really just a discussion topic. I'm open to any feedback. I developed a downtown master planning RFQ. So for downtown master planning, as part of our strategic goals and priorities, we need to develop a master plan for downtown. And we did receive some grant funding from Electricities that I had applied for, about $10,000 to help with the costs of that. So of course, an RFQ process is a qualifications-based selections process as required by the state. We would send this document out, and then people would have a timeline to submit their proposals, and then we would come back to the board once we got all those proposals and assessed them and talk through them. This is a big enough project where I don't even think it's a bad idea for us to interview, the board to interview some of these people, because this is, to me, this is going to be a staple of the next 10 years of the town. So we need to really be careful in considering this. So the timelines in there are going to be wrong because they were just placeholders. But once this is approved, I'll develop the placeholders and get this pushed out publicly. And we'll also send it directly to some firms. I know a few that do this kind of thing. And we'll wait for those proposals and hopefully maybe scheduling a special meeting at some point to sit down and interview a few of them. That would be kind of my plan, but I wanted to receive any feedback on the proposal. You don't have to have it all tonight. If you'd like to take another week and just get me feedback via email so I can make those adjustments, I can do that as well. Just needed to have a general discussion about it.
Yeah, I thought it was thorough.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there'll be things that they'll probably want to add, and at the end of the day, just getting at least the basics. And I think what's really going to come down to is if we get a firm that we just really like, and it's going to really meet the needs that we have, that hopefully will be obvious to us. But it might not be, but definitely will be.
Just curious, what did we budget for?
So I put a little bit in electric and a little bit in general fund. I kind of split it. I think roughly 50 to 60,000. That may not be enough, but if it's more than that, in negotiations, we can always come back to the board for an amendment. I think it's important enough that we need to be ready to spend the money to do it.
Oh, I agree. Do we need more time, or everybody comfortable? Anybody? I'm good.
Okay, I can fill in those final placeholders, and I'll plan on publishing it either tomorrow or the following day, so we can get those rolling in. Thank you.
Next up, approval of ordinance allowing alcohol sales at fall concerts.
Yeah, I can start this one. So this is a request from Growwood Drexel. As you recall, in the spring, we did an alcohol service at our one concert. And Mr. Danholz here, he can answer any questions. But I went ahead and developed the same ordinance because I know they were at least wanting to serve at the October 17th date. But I wanted to build in some flexibility into the ordinance so we didn't have to come back to the board every time to do it in case they wanted to be more aggressive in their pursuit of selling at these events. So I went ahead and just put all the dates that we've kind of locked in for concerts. So we're going to have 3 concerts this fall. At least that's the current plan. September 19th, October 10th, and October 17th. And then the times would be 5 to 10, and it will be the same exact setup as we had at the spring concert. So all the rules would be the same, and the Growwood Drexel will still be required to get a permit and all that stuff. So this is just allowing it. They wouldn't have to get the permit, and then also they have to ultimately decide they want to actually serve at these events. So I bring this to you for discussion, and if you have any questions, be happy to answer.
Any questions?
Anything you want to say, Dan?
You need to vote.
Yeah, it would be a motion and a vote.
Need a motion? Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I vote no. I always go with the support everything we do, Dan. That's just my beliefs. Approval of meeting calendar revisions.
Yeah, so this one, 2 things. The first one is Alderman Harmon had requested the September meeting be pushed back a week, which would put it on September 8th. So we've included in there that the September 8th meeting be moved back to, or the September 1st meeting be back to September 8th to accommodate his travels. I believe it travels.
Or lack of planning.
Like a poor planning. And then the other one is, if you recall, after the December board meeting, we like to use that as the opportunity to go and do the Christmas tree lighting.
Right.
And I guess we have since discovered that the Morganton Parade is the first Tuesday night of December, which also corresponds with our meeting. So our thought last year, we'd moved it to Monday, if you recall. We were going to opt to just push it back a week since it's also December 8th. So it feels like it's the first week anyways. So we were going to push the December meeting to December 8th. That way we could have that Christmas tree lighting that evening and not conflict with the Morganton Parade. So those are the two date proposals, and we wanted to bring it to you for a vote.
Any discussion? All in favor? Raise your right hand.
Well, we need a motion.
Oh, you need a motion?
I'll make a
Man, I was getting this.
It's on the roll.
In a second,
I'll second.
all those in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Department reports.
Right, let me pass out. That's one of the clerk Jennifer. There should be more than enough coverage for you all down there. All right. So we will go real quickly through the first month of our budget and where we stand in our budget variance report. So for the board, it'll be on the second page, but we're reviewing the same information that's on the screen or at your tables. So our total revenue in our general fund, we had budgeted 155, 245. We set an actual about 86,000. Our expenses, again, budgeted 155,000 versus a total expense of 190,000. The only differential here is due to our upfront costs. In the very beginning of the year, we have several bills that just come due at the beginning of the fiscal year, so that kind of inflates the expenses. And then our taxes haven't yet started coming in yet, so those will be lagged by a month, so we won't see those until next month, which explains that differential, but nothing out of the ordinary. Moving to the electric fund, our total revenue budgeted is 202,000 versus 199,000 actual. And then our expenses, again, 202,000 budgeted versus a 275,000 actual. Nothing real of note there. Again, we had some upfront costs, most notably workman's comp and our liability insurance that causes that spike, but nothing out of the ordinary they don't expect after the first month. And then moving on to the final fund, water and sewer fund, our actual or our budgeted revenue is 83,000 versus an actual of 87,000. Our total expenses 83,000 budgeted versus 141,000 actual. Again, same story. Upfront costs in the year that kind of inflate the budget and expenses, but nothing out of the ordinary for the year. So far, just 1 month in. And then I also do the tax report if you would like me to do that.
Yes, sir.
Turn to it. All right, so this is going to be our final tax report for 2020 or fiscal year end 2026 as of June 30. Remembering that our taxes are delayed by a month due to the way the county reports it. So we actually hit 100%, 100.1% collected year over year, and that's because of the way the county calculates it. They don't break out interest on, because taxes build interest by statute. So they don't break. We used to be able to break that out because we collect them, but they don't break that out. So we just show that we collected 101.1%, but that's because of the interest payment. This was compared to 96% as of last year, so we had a way better year with taxes, which is, of course, a good thing. And that is all I have for financials.
Departmental reports. Chief, you want to?
Good evening. We had 498 calls for service or events. We had 4 reportable incidents, 4 cases closed, and 7 arrests. It's like we had 26 traffic citations. 8 of those were warnings, 2 motor vehicle accidents, and 3 other papers served. Our Ford Explorer that was mentioned earlier, we're just waiting on a radar to come in, and that should be installed within a couple of days after it comes in. So I'm hoping we can have that down at the fairgrounds for everybody to check out here in a couple of weeks. So we should be able to make that happen.
Any questions for the chief? Thanks, sir. Kevin, you really want to go next? I'll let y'all arm rush.
Go for it.
Starting to get pretty busy. Got a lot of things coming up. Of course, outdoor soccer leagues still going on the weekends. Softball league just finished up. We had a pretty good league. All the guys were really pleased, wanting to do a fall league. There's a gentleman approached me. He's wanting to do some one pitch tournaments on Friday nights. So there's a lot of things coming down the pipe with this league, with those guys. So they're really pleased with how well I work with them on the schedule. Unlike Morganton just, they're set in their ways and won't budge. So they're starting to kind of see. So they were really happy with how things ran. We have our summer basketball league is going on right now. We actually have games down there tonight. Brittany was coming up to the meeting, but she had to run the clock. We got football, cheerleading, outdoor soccer signups going on. We already filled all cheerleading teams, and 2 football teams are already got at least 15 kids, and that's before we go to open house on the 20th. And we'll be down there on the 20th at the elementary school, and then we'll be at the middle school as well. We got 4 parties coming up. I've got to get some approvals on some. One is a wedding reception. So I hadn't talked to, that just came this afternoon, and I'll talk to you about that and what all they need and what they want as far as their toast and all that big that they want to have. So we're getting ready for fair parking. We're geared up for it. Getting some new walkies. Our walkies would die pretty quick, so we're getting some new ones for those. But I think we're fairly ready for it. We've got our back to school bash going on. It'll be August 15th. We got a fun run. I think I've got 12 kids already signed up for the fun run. We've got 100 book bags that are full of supplies and have supplies left over. We had two 500 donations, $100 donations. Grow with Drexel donated, and $1,000 donation. Case Farms, and a couple other people had donated. So we've got the farmers market extended through the end of August. We're getting info together. It's in the beginning stages to get a committee and the info out. We want to start our Drexel Sports Hall of Fame. I think there is a lot of great athletes that's came through Drexel. They kind of shifted because with Morganton's or Burke counties, they're looking at the whole county. So I think there is a lot in this area that ought to be recognized. So I think we could do our own. Glen Alpine has their own. So we're getting the information to get a committee together and get the forms out and set a date on when we could do that. We're putting together a trunk or treat event. It will be on the 31st, that Friday. We'll do it right after Morganton's. They usually start theirs at 3:30. We're going to start ours at 5:30. We'll have that information. We'll get the flyer approved and get it sent out. And we also are planning a Christmas event. More information will come with that. I met with Burke River Trail. As soon as the weather cools off, they'll be down and the crosswalk will be painted. They donated the paint and is going to have somebody paint that. So we'll have a nice crosswalk for the kids from where one of the book pages ends and across the road when it goes up behind toward the Boy Scout hut. there'll be a nice crosswalk for the kids to walk across so they can kind of pay attention and learn the rules of crossing the road. So, and we had health trivia day today by Hopscotch. It was from 10 to 11. I came by. I think wasn't a huge turnout like we would have wanted, but we'll keep doing things and keep putting it out there. So hopefully we'll get more and more involvement.
How are you on community volunteers, like coaching and stuff?
How are we?
Yeah, I mean, have you got a good response?
Oh yeah, we I think we have every football team has at least 4 or 5 coaches except for the middle team. And I think we at least have 2 there. So we're getting the backgrounds in, they're doing their links. They have to do a USA certification now, which teaches them about concussions, injuries, the heat, and stuff like that. So the coaches are more aware for the kids' safety. So
Good to hear that that's not a big issue, I guess.
we are overwhelmed with guys wanting to stay in, and a lot of the coaches are the guys that don't even have a kid in it. They're coming back to coach. So
Thank you. Kevin?
Afternoon, council. Give you a second to look through the report. Give you a little update on a homeless situation that we were brought to our attention yesterday, and we addressed it today. And being that 2 families involved, they kind of self took care of it. We did inspect the property. We did go over, had permission to inspect from one property to where the individual was at. And like I said, it was clean and resolved. Could it come back? Yes. Homeless is growing. I know that's not what folks want to hear, but it is an issue that we deal with. So I'll give you a minute though to look through here as well. If you have any questions of anything that you know of, please ask. May not have an answer today, but I'll try to get you one.
I don't have anything. This evening, yeah, just, yeah, but Daniel is here. I think we're good, Kevin.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Daniel?
Sir.
Thank you. So since the July meeting of the board, we've issued 4 new zoning permits, bringing the total for 2026 to 26 total new permits issued. The planning board did meet in July and rendered a favorable recommendation on rezoning at 106 Oakland Avenue. So that is being publicly noticed right now and will come before the board in September for decision. As you can see in the report, we are reviewing some previous enforcement actions and preparing to take action again on those situations. And then just generally speaking, at the last planning board meeting, we did establish the expectation for that board to meet quarterly, obviously more frequently if an action item comes up. We're also working on filling some ETJ vacancies on that board as well to get back up to full staffing. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for James? Thank you. Mr. Rod, have you got anything, sir?
I do not.
This is back to you, sir.
Yep, so just some dates, mentioned earlier, at least mentioned it, but, the farmers markets, seem to be quite successful and have been extended to August 30th. They are at 12:30 PM. That's right, 12:30 PM? Yeah. 12:30 PM on Sundays. The Drexel Fair and America 250 celebration is gonna be August 21st through 29th. The fair opening ceremony, which, I would ask all the board to attend if they are able, will be August 24th at 7 PM. That evening we'll also have some other celebrations revolving around America 250. We are branding the entire fair as such. And the Community of Hands, which is the art project that Mr. Dan Hull has been spearheading for the past year or so. We are expecting to have that groundbreaking on September 2nd at, is it 11 or 11:30? 11:30. I have 11 on there. I think I put 11, so we're early. We can get there and I'll be late for it, but that'll be 11:30, the official groundbreaking. And then our regular meeting is now September 8th at 6 p.m. And then we do have a closed session.
Anything else we need to discuss? I think we need to have a motion to go into closed session.
For, and if you just, for the record, make sure we state why. It's I think here or record.
Alright, closed session pursuant to 143-318.11A4 to discuss matters relating to the location or expansion of industries or businesses in the area served by the public body. Need a motion for to go in closed session. Got it, a second. All in favor? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.